What's up, everyone? TradeSpace.io here, back with another video. So this time I wanted to talk about my Discord because I've gotten so many questions about it, and ultimately I have two Discords, and hopefully after the end of this video, some things will kind of be cleared up a little bit. But first off, I have two Discords. One is for people who strictly work one-on-one with me, and in this Discord, they have access to weekly analysis for the ES for those who are day traders, as well as some other kind of random analyses. They also have access to all sorts of resources that I post. That's everything from books to random news articles. Sometimes, like recently, I actually just posted the equations for how to calculate moving averages, and just kind of fun facts in general. So there's a lot there. There's a lot of people there that you can connect with. And the other Discord I have is this one right here. And this Discord is a signals Discord. It's done extremely well since I started it November last year. We're still small and growing really strong. All these trades, I think one of the unique thing about this Discord that you're not going to find with anyone else is that all these trades are based upon many years of back-tested quantitative data. So what this means essentially is that by backtesting this data, we can find key buy and sell times throughout history. So let's look at a trade that we called out here. First off, I call out trades each week in this Discord. I post a watch list. And in that watch list, it shows a bunch of trades that I'm thinking about taking this week. It doesn't mean for sure that I'm going to take them, but I am highly considering it. All I really am waiting for at that point is a good trigger. One of the places we got a really good trigger recently was in Microsoft. So here, this is a lot of what the watch list looks like. And these are all based off of facts. There's no opinion here for me to give you, because the fact is that if you buy Microsoft on 510 and you sell on 6.7 with a 9% stop loss, you will have a 73.7% probability of winning. Your average profit will be 5.36%, your average loss 6.36. You'll win 15 times in a row, you'll lose 3 times in a row. And this trade has been a consistent winner. It's won every single year, year after year, consecutively since 2016. So it's been on a big winner. On average, you'll have 5.6 consecutive wins and 2 consecutive losses. High probability dates. These are dates where this particular asset has a high probability of going up or down. A high probability is 65% or greater. In this case, 517 is a 70% chance of being bearish. That means that throughout all of history, no matter what happens this year, 70% of the time is bearish for Microsoft. If you're on 517, May 17th. May 17th is 70% bearish for Microsoft. And a lot of these dates, you don't have a whole lot of high probability dates. Most of these dates are pretty close to 50-50. And we don't post anything that's too close to 50-50. But here we're looking at a trade. We know we have a 73% probability of it winning. So it also will win a whole bunch of times in a row. It'll win 15 times in a row. It's been winning. So this is something that I was strongly considering whenever I posted this. And I did end up taking it. Let's look at Microsoft real fast. Here's Microsoft in here. So let's look for 510. 510 is going to be this bar right here. So this would have been our entry bar. And it's really obvious here when you're looking at things. When you're looking at things, and you got to use, you still have to use a lot of technical skill, because everything is based off of averages, which gives us a really good idea of key times to buy and sell. But you know, if you're in a range here, and you buy somewhere in the range, your profit target is going to be the top of the range no matter what, and you're going to at least take half profits and move to break even at bare minimum. But in this particular case, I noticed that we were in a range, and particularly here, we had not only jumped out of the range, but we formed a double bottom at a trend line. And this double bottom seemed kind of strong. It's a little bit difficult to see because if we zoom in, it's just a big gap down, and it's a gap up. In fact, actually, the gap got filled, but this was an island play, right? Gap here, and there was a gap here that got filled. So this was an island play, at least at one point in time. But I had to push down below this range, forming a double bottom at the trend line, and it was starting to make its way up. And if we look up in between here, we see inside bar, but it's big gap up right after. Bulls were able to keep this gap open. In fact, it's still open to this day. When I saw the bulls were able to keep this open, and then we have this bear bar, nice little bull signal bar right off of the 20 EMA. Then we had two nice little follow-through bars, and I decided to go ahead and buy on the breakout. So what happened after that, buying on 510? Well, we just let it go, and it went ahead and pushed up to the top of the range. So we had a really nice play here. Let's see, we bought around, we bought somewhere in the beginning of the day, so around that 412, 413, and sold around 430. Those are the actual profit target on this play. So we had a nice little gain there on Microsoft. Let's see kind of how some things turned out. So these are all of our gain sections. This is where we can see all of the places where we've won really big. So it looks like one of our members here had a 91% gain on Microsoft with his options. And you can buy options, you can buy shares. It's all about what your portfolio is most comfortable with. In this case, dude here wanted to buy an option, so that's what he did. He had a 91.89% gain on it, so pretty big. He actually did send me another screenshot in private on Microsoft that was over 100%. So we had absolutely incredible time on Microsoft. Really, really nice. Now let's just say that you can't afford an option. Well, if you can't afford an option, that's okay. You don't have to buy one. You can buy shares too. You can use a call out to buy shares. Put your stop loss where we had it, which was right under here. I wanted to go ahead and protect this gap here in case that gap tried to get filled. We could put our stop loss down here. We could buy shares, however many that we're comfortable with. We have a clear stop loss in place. We don't have as much risk on the board. And we can simply just ride the price right back up. So it's completely up to you. If you want to buy an option, it's really, really simple. You just take the same call out and you buy an in-the-money option with an expiration date after our exit date. Make sure you have enough volume in the market, and that's what you need to do. It really is that simple. So if you're an options trader and you want some really good call outs, then this would be a really, really good place for that. We're not dedicated solely towards options, but there's always the ability to buy an option in any of these call outs. There's always an option to buy an option, so to speak. Let's look at just one more real quick. See if we can't get an even better idea on things. Let's see here. Here's another one that I recently called out. It's a HPQ 57 to 531. Let's see how that's going for us. And this is the same data too, by the way. Taking HPQ long from 5.7 to 5.31 at the 9% stop loss yields a 74.1% probability of winning. Average profit of 7.15%, average loss of 7.4%. It'll win 14 times in a row, only losing twice in a row. And it had a loss relatively recently. We are also still within our average consecutive wins, so it's a reasonable trade. And we recently maximized our average consecutive losses, which means that it's about time for us to expect this trade to start winning. And notice it has no dates with a probability higher than 65%. So let's see how this turned out real quick. Looking to buy on 5.7, let's try to find the exact day that we bought. Right here, on this bear day. So the first thing that we noticed too, we have to do some kind of analysis. First thing you noticed, there's a lot going on here. We're kind of coming into a new pattern. So we'll just start here. We had this wedge, and we had a false breakout of the wedge. High probability of failure, gap up. Especially when there's a gap up. You have a wedge, and then you have a gap up. This gap often is going to act as a profit target for bears, and that's exactly what it did here. Gap up, big bull bar, that's the best we could get. Couldn't get any better than that. It was followed by a bear bar, followed by a series of bear bars, and eventually it had collapse, filling this gap here. So we have a wedge, and our profit target on the wedge is going to be the previous lower high right here. So we hit this exactly, perfect profit target. Now, what's to be expected after a wedge? You have 10 bars, 2 legs. You definitely have that in here. So it's reasonable to expect the market to go ahead and begin to range for a while. And that's exactly what happened here. So the market begins to range and come across HPQ as a signal. So 5.7 to 5.31. You bought on this day here. And notice the key thing about this data. And this is something that a lot of people are really surprised by when they begin trading with this, is that a lot of times it can predict major moves. And if we look at our 5.7 entry date, it was one day before a big bullish push up. And if we go back into here, there's a nice little bull push up here. There's a nice little push up here, but it doesn't exactly have a whole lot of these. And this one right here in particular is extremely powerful, as you saw. This is the power of historical data right here. Buying on 5.7, we're literally buying the day before the major move. Our stop loss is under the range. We know that we expect to at least get to the range. So the next day comes around, and we have this big bull day. Next day, followed by another bull day, gap up, bear day, bull day, bull day. And eventually we break out of the range. And it's always reasonable to take at least partial profits at the top of the range. And then we just continue to hold, and look what happens. I mean, HPQ just shoots straight up like this. Absolutely insane. Real tight channel. Probably still more opportunities to buy even. We might have a pullback soon, but is still probably still able to buy this. Probably still able to buy it and make money. So let's see the result of this trade real fast. do with HPQ again. 113% on the options. So very, very impressive trade. Very, very impressive. Very, very nice. So everyone in our Discord is doing incredibly well. I can scroll back here forever. There's some just trading shares, trading shares, trading shares. Analysis on there, our ETN trade. Once again, this was a big bull trend the day after we bought ETN. So, you know, this data really has a lot of strong power in it when it comes to predicting big moves. Our X trade, shorting X. I got a lot of grief for this one. People said this was a buy zone. This no one would be selling here. I told them they were wrong. Big winners here. Lots and lots of winners. Lots and lots of winners here. Let's see. I haven't calculated exactly. I need to go back and get the exact count, but I know for a fact that since November, we have a greater than 80% win rate. So we're doing really, really good. And this is our current knee trade right here, up 57% at the moment. In fact, I had a gap up overnight, and the market hasn't opened yet, so it's likely going to open a lot higher than 57%. So, yeah, this is a just kind of a brief look into the Discord, some of our recent trades. I guess you can take a look at knee real fast. Knee with a new breakout here, so it's doing extremely well. This is the Discord. This is some of the things that we trade, some things that we look at, and some of our most recent trades. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope that you found it helpful. If you're interested in joining the Discord, I'll go ahead and post a link in the description. There is a 7-day free trial period for you to check out. And if you have any questions, you can always shoot me a message on Fiverr, on my email, on Discord, either one. And you can always comment or like the video, and that will be helpful as well. So, guys, I think that's going to be it for you, or it for me. Sounds like there's a storm going on outside, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Alright, guys, I will be posting more soon, too, at some point. But I'm very busy with a new project right now for this Discord. I really am going to change this Discord, and it's going to have things that no other Discord has. So if you're interested in that, you should also join. Alright, guys, best of luck trading to you.